Well, how are you feeling? You got John Riggs here, and I'm feeling fantastic because the Muramasa shop is now open. Open for business for what they have. I've had Muramasa's boards in videos in the past, and I've had a lot of messages, a lot of emails, and a lot of random comments from non-related videos saying, yo, what about those Muramasa boards? If you're not familiar in making repros, instead of destroying old games, and I'm going to whatever the video game version of hell is for how many games I've destroyed, and I'm trying to become like a born-again something. Where it's like, I'm done with it. I'm done with destroying games. And it's a huge pain in the backside, if you know what I'm talking about. It's a hassle to, with a soldering iron, remove all the little bits of solder. You try to pull the game up, maybe it pulls up a trace. I'm done with it. Time is money, right? And if there's a easier, convenient way to do it without having to worry about wires and all that, and that's good news for me because, and this is a little bit more personal about me personally, John Riggs here, is my right hand only has about 40% strength left in it. I've been seeing a hand doctor because I have arthritis. As you can see, this hand is far more swollen than this one. Limited mobility, and that includes my thumb. This is what my thumbs up looks like. I can't move my thumb any more than that. So as far as desoldering and wiring and stuff goes, it's really, really hard on my hands. These boards, these Muramasa boards, I've been using exclusively for about the last half a year or so. Helping him test them, helping him groom them, helping me make a couple of bucks on the side, right? And him as well. And I'm happy to announce that if you're watching this video, it means that they're open for what there are. Now, Muramasa, let me just tell you a little bit about him. I don't know him a lot, but I know him a little bit enough to know that he's just some dude, like me, like you. He's just some dude who happens to have the schematics that he's built to make custom boards so you don't have to rewire anything. You don't have to unsolder anything. All you have to do is just pop the right pins in the right place, and you got yourself a repro. Or you got yourself a homebrew. You got yourself a hack. You got yourself something that you're not destroying an old game for. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's the way to go, right? And he's always tinkering on more things too. As soon as he's almost done with something, he's like, oh, I got a great idea. I mean, his brain is moving a million miles a second. I've met with him in person a couple of times in my life. And he's like, oh, I got ideas for this and this and this and this. And I was like, focus on the task at hand first. I appreciate your ideas. And he's probably sick of me messaging him with my ideas too. I was like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be cool if you could do this? He's like, I know, I'm already working on it. It's so funny. So he sent me a little care package to announce the opening of his online store. The link is in the description below. The cool thing about this site is not only can you buy the boards, but you can also buy all of the parts you need to get these games to work, except for the EEPROMs. You can still get your EEPROMs on eBay or whatever. I usually go on eBay. But not only will you get the board, if you already have the EEPROMs, you'll also get the capacitors, the resistors if you need them. If it's a SX Rom board or a TX Rom board, you'll get the MMC1 or the MMC3 chip as well. So he sent over a few things. I'm going to showcase them right now. He sent over a little package of what's available now, right? And we'll look at that in a second. What's coming soon? This is still in the prototype stage. So, and I'll show those here near the end of the video. And then I'm very curious about what may or may not actually come to fruition. And I will respect his dignity, if that's the right word, to keep this top secret. I'll have a peek at it later. But that'll be off limits for now. In the meantime, let me tell you what he does have on hand. And these are fantastic. I'm telling you, these are, seriously, once you do this a little bit, it used to, like when I first started doing repros, let's say a TL-ROM board, a TL-ROM, right? That's an 8-wire board. It used to literally take me from taking the game unscrewing it, desoldering it, putting the games on EPROMs, putting them back, like doing the 8 wires, putting it back in there. It used to take me literally about an hour per game, like when I first started. Then I got to the point where I could do it in about half an hour or so per game. These, I'll actually do one in this video. I'll do one in this video to show you how fast it is. Here's what he has on hand. We have, this is the No Mapper, the Rom Board. Great for like Super Mario Brothers hacks. A lot of other great games are on NROM, or this is NROM 128 or NROM 256. No CNROM, just NROM only. So if you're doing NROM games, again, all the Super Mario Brothers hacks, the Balloon Fight Iwata Edition hack that is available, the patch is on my channel. That's what you would use that one for. We have right here, this is the it says SX ROM. You could do an SL ROM, like New Ghostbusters would be on this one. You can do SK ROM would be available. You could do a Holy Diver. Holy Diver would use this board. And again, if you do like an SG ROM, for instance, SG ROM would be like Space Harrier. All right. SG ROM might be like the it would be like the Mega Man 2 hacks would be used on this one too. Not only do you have the 2 EPROMs, but there's also the part for CHR RAM. You do have to order the CHR RAM separately for now. That may be available on his channel later on. But in the meantime, CHR RAM, if you pilfer it from another board, maybe a scrap board, you can do that too. The CICs are also available on his channel. The CICs are not cheap. They're $4 each. That's not his price plan. That's how much they really are. In fact, he's probably taking a cut for selling them so cheap. But there is a spot where if you do want to use a donor CIC, there's a spot for that too. But he does sell those separately. I would recommend just buying them new, just so you don't have to destroy any old boards. The MMC1 goes right there too, and he does have those available. And I'll show you what those mean later too. And then we got this guy here. So many great games on the TL-ROM, TS-ROM. A lot of great games on this one, including Splatterhouse. Now, I actually need to make a copy of Splatterhouse. I'm going to make one here pretty soon. And if you're a Patreon, it'll be your chance to win one. So if you haven't done so yet, consider being a Patreon. It's only $1 a month. Consider it, and I do a giveaway once a month. So consider it like a $1 lottery that you might win a free video game, right? And then you also get early access to videos. You get access to my stream. I'm going to start doing some live chat sessions too, where you can ask me anything you want. A lot of great games are on this one. There's a couple of extra things here. The MMC3 chip is a lot longer and bigger than you're used to, because you might know the MMC3. That's that square right there. This thing here does the exact same thing. All right, so we're going to check that out too. And not just NES, Super Nintendo as well. He's got a couple of them right here. This is the, which one do I got here? Here's for 1 meg games. Hey, this would be great for like Back to the Future Part 2. Great Super Nintendo game. The Fireman, fantastic game. This is all you need. Just one of those. 1 chip is all it takes. No rewiring involved. That's what I love about it. There's no rewiring. This one here is the 2 meg. Very, very similar. The 2 meg games, there's a few of them out there. Gargoyle's Quest 2, Demon's Crest. If you want to make one for yourself, I'm not saying one way, but that's a 2 meg game. Put that on here. And some 1 meg games, after being translated, become 2 meg games. So any 2 meg game you can think of, go ahead and plop it right on there. It'll work just fine. Well, I bet you'll get it to work the very first time you ever do one. As I said, I do need to make a copy of Splatterhouse for the NES. And this game that I'm making is going to be free to win if you're a Patreon. Again, if you haven't done so yet, link in the description below. Become a Patreon. Consider that. If not, it's all good. I thank you for watching all the same. And let's make a Splatterhouse. I'll show you how easy it is to use with the Muramasa TX Rom Board. We have all the parts right here. We're going to make one right now. Check this out. All right. So here is the TX Rom Board. This is what you need for Splatterhouse. And it looks like a lot going on this thing, but really, it tells you what to put here. MMC3, it goes right there. That little notch there, that's perfect. Now, he does provide, when you buy these boards, the MMC3 chip. It even has a notch right there. That little dot up in the corner, that's the same as the notch. So you know that's going to go right there. Now, it's on a wooden block, so the actual thing won't actually go in place until you kind of pick it up. You see what I'm saying there? The CIC goes that way, but then if you have the mini one, like right here, oh, that little notch in the corner, goes just like that. Kind of a one-man show here, so gotta bear with me. So, you got that going on, C2, C3, hey, there's C1. You gotta have that capacitor in place here. And he also provides the capacitor. Now, there is a long leg and a short leg. The long leg is the plus side, so where it says C1 plus, see right there? That's where the long side goes. I'm just gonna pop that right in place. I make it pretty close, you know, not so bad. I still want to be able to put it to the end. And you can clip off the back there. That's not gonna bother anything. But I usually just kind of do that, give it a little bend, and I'll, when I solder that in place, maybe I'll snip those off too. I'll just kind of do that with them right now. I'll just fold them in the meantime. And then I have already made the PRG and the CHR. The beautiful thing about this, again, no rewiring. That's the best part. Hey, if I can get done with this, I can move this out of the way for a second. So the PRG is right there. The CHR does not need to flip upside down. That was just me losing grasp of it. I hope. Looks like I may have over tucked them. There we go. Just a little bit like that. And in the meantime, while I got everything like this in place, I'm going to go ahead and solder. I'm gonna solder what I got right now, and then I'll show you the final step in making this board. So up here it shows you the final step is there's a 526K. This is like if you're using 2 of the M27C 2001 chips. The 512, which would be like if you're using the 4001. That would be like if you're using Metroid Rogue Dawn or like a Mario 3 mix, something like that. And then Flash, not going to worry about that right now. We use 2 of the M27C 2001s. You just have to create a little glob of solder that bridges the gap. Not so there's 2 of them. Come on, a little bit more maybe. There we go, something like that. Perfect. I bet this, exactly like this, will work in my top loader. If you're using a toaster model, you probably do want to put a thing in C2 and C3, but we're going to pop it in this and see if it works. Here's what I just did there. There's the thing. A little solder job on the back. Got that in place. Of course, the soldering iron is right in the way. But I bet you anything just like that, it'll work just fine. There we go, Splatterhouse. See how quick that was? See how awesome that was? Look at this. That's such a great game. Yeah, they made Splatterhouse for the NES in Japan. There you go. It's all SD style. Awesome. It's that easy using these Muramasa boards. So thank you for watching. It's, again, open now. So if you have a, I use a top 3000 EEPROM program, or whatever EEPROM program you want to use is all the same. Totally cool too. And there are more stuff coming soon. You saw the NROM, the SX-ROM, the TX-ROM, and even the Super Nintendo chips, which is always kind of cool because Super Nintendo Repros, hey, that's not bad, So make that happen for you. And again, if you're a Patreon, it'll be your chance to win this. The cool thing about using these transparent boards is there's no wires. Again, there's no rewiring going on, so you don't have to worry about the messy wires. You do have to worry about my messy glue job. I accidentally got some glue on there, but you know what? That's part of the charisma, right? So you're going to win this right here via the Patreon. So check out my Patreon page for your chance to win. I thank you for watching, and really quickly, let's see what's coming soon, just in case. So we know what's coming up. We know what's going on there. And I heard a couple of things about this. I'll tease you a little bit. I don't know if he wants me to tell you this, but I'll tease you a little bit on what to expect. If you're like, hey, what about this? What about the other thing? Including the SX-ROM and the TX-ROM advanced boards. These are going to be able to hold batteries. So if you're looking for that battery backup, it'll be your chance to check those out as well. Also including Sega Genesis games. This is able to hold up to a 4 meg game. If you're looking to make like the Streets of Rage, all the great Streets of Rage 2 hacks, Streets of Rage 2 The Simpsons Edition, Streets of Rage 3 Beavis and Butthead will be able to play on something like this. There's no battery involved. You won't be able to do like Mega Man Wily Wars, for instance, but so many great games. Alien Storm, you won't have a problem with that. And this here is one I've been personally looking forward to. This is what he calls the Discrete Board. The Discrete Board is going to be able to do CN-ROM games, as well as UN-ROM and UO-ROM. UN-ROM games would be... there's a lot. And UN-ROM is such a weird wiring schematic. I showed you the tutorial on how to do UN-ROM boards using wires. If there's a way I can avoid that, this will be the one to do it. It does have the spot for the RAM as well, 2 different styles too. So that's coming soon. Again, top secret. This is going to maybe be another video for another time, but in the meantime, the Muramasa boards are available now. Check out a link in the description below, and you'll be able to do that, and my Patreon will have your chance to win this. Give the video a thumbs up if you want to see more tutorials like this. Check out my other videos. I thank you for watching. I'm going to play some more Splatterhouse before I have to give it away. So until next time, take care, and we'll see you. Thanks. All right, curiosity got the best of me here. What do we got going on? This. Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, this. Looking forward to this.